Brad Sherman of California is a senior member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, also the ranking member on the subcommittee on terrorism, nonproliferation, and trade. Congressman, thanks for being with us today.
Good to be with you.
So we're just learning details of this counter-terror operation in Belgium. Wanted to get your response there to what we know at this point, which is that 3 have been killed in a counter-terror raid, may or may not be related to the terror attacks that we saw in Paris. Your reaction, sir?
Well, I doubt it's a complete coincidence. The brothers from France were trying to buy weapons in Belgium. A Belgium arms dealer turned himself in, realizing that eventually he would be caught, and now we see this raid. These were not complete lone wolf operators. They did have connections. They didn't have weapons that they made in their own kitchen. They had money. They had sophisticated weapons, and hopefully we'll be able to catch at least a few of those who are involved in this process.
All right, Congressman, I want to turn to the plot that was disrupted here, potential attack on the U.S. Capitol. What's your reaction to this alleged Capitol Hill plot?
We have tight security at the Capitol for a reason. We shouldn't be surprised that there will be those who mean us harm, and we have that security for a reason.
And Congressman, Secretary Kerry's in Paris today. He's there meeting with French President Francois Hollande. Are we doing enough right now, the U.S., to coordinate with our European allies to help them root out extremism in their own countries?
Well, we're making our intelligence available, obviously, and the administration has said this. Secretary Kerry, or even a more prominent American official, should have been there at the major march in Paris. One concern I have about France and other countries in Europe is their policy is that when you go fight with ISIS or you fight with Al-Qaeda and then you come back, they monitor you. The policy in the United States is we arrest you. And there's a reason for that. Cooperating with and serving as a soldier in the army of a terrorist organization is a crime. It's an international crime. And there are at least 200 people in France that, if their laws were designed and enforced the way we should and do in the United States, would be not under surveillance, but under imprisonment.
Will we be pressuring some of those allies to change, to take a tough look at some of those laws and changing them to make them closer in alignment with what we do here?
Well, first we have to push on our own people, some of whom wanted to adopt this French model of just monitoring. I don't think the United States has to pressure France to be vigilant on terrorism. There were 3.7 million Frenchmen in the streets of various cities demonstrating. I think the French authorities know what their people want to do.
All right, Congressman, and turning to another terrorist organization, the leader of Boko Haram has a new video praising those awful attacks in Paris. And those attacks actually happened shortly after Boko Haram torched at least 10 towns in northeastern Nigeria. Horrifying there, leaving around 2,000 people unaccounted for in a week-long killing spree. Secretary of State John Kerry spoke about those attacks this morning. Take a listen.
The slaughter recently is a crime against humanity, nothing less. It's an enormously horrendous slaughter of innocent people, and Boko Haram continues to present a serious threat.
Congressman, as you know, Boko Haram controls territory in Nigeria the size of Switzerland, and they've done horrifying things, including using little girls as suicide bombers. Are we taking Boko Haram seriously enough?
We've got a lot of problems around the world. We've got to take them all seriously. I think if we're going to take a next step beyond intelligence sharing and training for the Nigerian army, it would be deploy drones and other air resources. This is a terrible organization and linked, of course, with the international terrorists who mean to do us harm. So I think we cannot deploy major ground forces everywhere in which there are terrible atrocities, but we can use our intelligence and, in some cases, our air power.
All right, Congressman Brad Sherman, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Good to be with you.
And up next, we're going to give you more